The next time you need a haircut, think of the barbershop with a grand tradition. Williams Barbershop. Williams Barbershop, proud to serve the entire community of Eufaula. Come by to our new location, new facilities, and see what it's like to be treated in style at Williams Barbershop in the old JCPenney catalog store. There is another choice for making funeral arrangements. Central Funeral Services, located in Eufaula and Louisville, Alabama. With one-of-a-kind staff, thrives on professionalism and meeting the unique needs of families with a wide variety of services. Owned and operated by the Mixon family. Call 687-1060 or 266-5261. Melissa Mixon Smith, licensed funeral director.
Good morning. You were watching Gumbo live, and I got a fellow with me that I'm so happy that he had the time. I've been trying to get this interview since I've been doing Gumbo live, Mr. Gilmore. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much. We have this morning with us early this morning, Mr. Earl Gilmore. Now, what is your proper title, president or chairman?
Chairman.
This is the chairman of the Barber County Commission, and how many years?
I'm on my 27th year.
27 years. And how many of those years as chairman?
Oh, I don't really know.
No.
It's been a pretty good while.
Yeah, Mr. Gilmore is been.
I didn't keep up with the years.
All right,
as I was chairman, but I've been there pretty good.
Been on the county commission 27 years, and many of those years he was the chairman. Now, how you become the chair of the county commission?
The body elects you.
The other commissioners.
Yes, ma'am.
The other commissioners.
Yes.
Okay, so the other commissioners elect you. Now, let's talk about that. Do y'all work together? I mean, I think that it's very important that all of the commissioners work together for the betterment of the county.
Yes, sir. We work together excellent. I'm proud of all of them.
That's good. That's good.
So that's the only way you can work and get things accomplished with the county is working together. So very seldom you have a spat or two along the way.
Right.
But you're gonna have that at home,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
now, what about the city? Do y'all ever come together where y'all have to work with the city council?
Yes,
here in the city of Eufaula?
we sure do. On this A-Trip program, we work with the city. We were in the ramp, and they come to us there with their engineers, want us to come out the ramp program because the ramp was paying our match.
Now, what is the ramp? What is that?
That was where they paid your match. Now, the first part of A-Trip, we paid our match, but we didn't have no more money to match their funding. So the ramp program came along that they would pay our match. So we had to go with it. So then the city came back a little later and wanted us to drop out of the ramp and go back to the A-Trip where they could get in.
So y'all
that eliminated all cities and whatever of getting in on the program when we did that. So we rescinded that and took them all. That's where they got the money. They're gonna do Barber Street and Country Club Road and all of that.
Yeah. So the county played a big part in it.
Yes, sir. We work with the city any way that we need.
What about what's the status, Mr. Gilmore, if you know of this shooting range? What's the status of that? Is that something going to happen?
It's already happened.
It already happened.
It's there. It's fixed.
Okay.
It ain't finished, but
y'all did y'all part.
Well, we ain't yet. Well, we're going to.
Okay.
The next meeting we will.
Okay. So that's a done.
But they got the dirt on site. Which I went out there with them and told them, this wall where they've been shooting in, if they had any extra room, to take that off and build you got it ain't but 100 foot or 200 foot that you got to bring the dirt from there to here, and you can put it up a day and a half, 2 days. So They've got it pretty well. They got some straw and seed, you know, to
So,
put on
so
it.
it's ready. All right.
It's
That's
pretty
good.
near ready.
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
We working with them on
Yeah,
that.
well, I'm glad to hear that because I know I thought at one time that because of the cost or whatever it was that that wouldn't get done. So I'm glad to hear that. Now tell me this here, Mr. Gilmore, because I've been to several. Well, I see a lot of the county commissioner meetings. How and I think that the audience would want to know this. How do y'all prioritize the roads? If you get several people making a request for their road, and let me say this to you that I found this out. The way I might want my road and the way y'all can do it ain't the same.
Everybody wants a blacktop.
Yeah. Well, how do you prioritize it? How do you determine, number one, how do you determine?
The state
Okay.
has got the roads. All roads in the county is graded. That's why we got paved roads today. If something don't happen to where we can get some money, this is going back to dirt, but they're nothing but holes. I mean, you can't hardly get up and down them now. But a dirt road is one of the last roads that you can pave, because you got to take care of your paved roads first. But a lot of people don't understand that.
Now, so let help me understand it, so we can help our audience understand. The state determines what y'all can do with the roads and what kind of roads
They grade the roads.
The state.
They grade the bridges.
Okay.
That's why you got to inspect the bridges every year. We inspect the bridges every year, because you got to keep them where they're safe and
So if I'm living on a dirt road, and every time the weather get bad, it causes me problems. Should I bring that to your attention? When I say you, I'm talking about the county commission, or should we together, the county commission and myself, bring it to the attention of the state?
No.
Okay.
If you living on a dirt road, the first one you should call is your commissioner.
Okay.
Get him out there, and if you don't get your commissioner, call me and I'll come.
Okay.
But you need to call your commissioner first. And he'll get with the engineer when you tell him what you need and get it set up.
Okay.
And we don't, it's just we ain't got the labor force that we used to have.
Don't have the labor force.
We don't have the labor force.
Okay.
We trimmed back to.
Okay. So now okay. Let's say this here. Let's say that I get my county commissioner. He or she comes out, and we both determine that this road is bad. And then you come out yourself and you look at it and you determine this road is bad. We need to do something to it. Then what happens after that point?
We turn it over to the engineer, and he takes care of the problem.
And it may not be what I want.
It may not be what you want. It may not be today.
Okay.
You got to give us time to get there, because he's got other roads. I mean, we got 500 miles of dirt roads in this county, and we've got most of them in pretty good shape.
Most of the dirt roads are.
Most of them, it's some places we got problems. We are working on those problems.
But seems like to me, Mr. Gilmore, that's just me thinking top of my head. This is 2015. Seems like there should be no dirt roads nowhere. Seems like that's what it
I
just seems like
understand
to
what
me.
you're saying, but they're there. I mean, we ain't paved the dirt road in, well, I guess the Frost Marlow Road was the last one.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I went down some
And we
some
got
roads.
the state funds to do that,
Yeah, I went down some roads and it seemed like that it was good roads, but it went nowhere. It seemed like to me. But anyway, all right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about what's going on right now in the legislature. But before we do that, tell me this. You got the Honorable Billy Beasley and Honorable Barry Forte up there. What is the relationship that you have, that you personally, as the chair, have with our state senator and our state representative?
Good relationship.
Okay.
I call them anytime we need something,
Okay.
try to get their input on it.
Okay.
They do all they can do. Some things you can't do. You can't get the money to do.
Okay.
Because the state's in the shape we're in.
Yeah, that's true. Now, my understanding, and here lately, I've been trying to keep up with what's going on before the legislature. Now, and you can help me with this. my understanding is that they getting ready to drop a big burden on y'all. So far, now who the probate judge? Who is responsible for the probate judge?
We are.
You are.
But let me say this.
Okay.
The business going on in the probate office is a heap more of it state business than it is county business.
Mm-hmm. But y'all responsible for salary and all that?
Yes, sir. We furnish her budget, just like we do it the sheriff and the little marshal with the revenue officer.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the sheriff in a minute.
We set their budget,
okay,
and we get with them and find out what their needs are and then try to meet it.
Okay. And what about this? What about that bill? And I think that we talked about it, and I think they may have voted on it yesterday, and I'm not sure what the outcome is. That you have to pay the retirement. When I say you, I'm talking about again. I'm talking about the county.
They're trying to revert it back.
They're trying to say that the probate judge
Yes,
retirement money, which seemed like to me is a pretty good little penny, that the county have to pay that.
Yes,
that,
if it passes.
If it's passing.
All counties.
So what happens?
What
happens if it passes?
This is a statewide bill.
How you going to pay it?
You're going to have to cut somebody out to pay it. We ain't got the money in the budgets, and we ain't got the money to put in the budget for another, that kind of.
Yeah, your budget is already.
That's 20. It cost us our county $21,000, right, $22,000.
Okay. So if that bill.
So that's another person.
That
the probate judge could have in there. Now, the state should pay it.
Mm-hmm.
The driver's license, every other thing done in there, state,
That's
more so than county.
Yeah. But now let's talk about that bill if it passed. If that bill passes, then you will be mandated
It's a unfunded mandate.
that you'll have to pay retirement for the probate judge.
That's right.
Now you say, well, we got to cut something. Now how you determine when you got this mandate, you got this unfunded mandate that you got to do it because it's a mandate. That's what a mandate means.
That's right.
How you determine what you're going to cut?
Well, you get with the probate judge. You got to go.
So the cut going to come out of the probate judge office.
That's out of her budget.
All right. Now what about this? What about the probate judge has been before the council trying to get another person?
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to get another person at the same time you need to cut.
That's right.
That don't balance out.
No, it don't. But it's got to happen if you do it. If they pass it, something's got to change.
Yeah. So the money for the probate judge's retirement is going to end up coming out of the probate judge's budget.
That's right. Yes, sir.
All right. I think this here, Mr. Gilmore. I think that we do a very poor job, especially election time, of informing the people about the importance of who we elect.
Mm-hmm.
Because of stuff like this. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
We got people in Montgomery who don't consider how it's going to affect us down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every elected official, that's just me, my personal talking right now, if you don't mind.
Right.
I think every elected official and everybody that has knowledge ought to inform the folks of what's going on and what, I just think it's crazy to give you a unfunded mandate where you got an office that's already short,
mm-hmm.
and now you're going to make it even shorter.
Right.
That's too easy.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen, because we got a bill several years back. Used to, there's worse than they are now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting unfunded mandates on the county.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a bill passed statewide that eliminated. And if they passed an unfunded mandate, they had to send the money with it
Mm-hmm.
to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going to happen on this one.
But you will keep us informed.
Yes.
You'll keep us informed.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about this, because I really want to talk about the sheriff department, but I want to talk about this. When the county commission have the workshops, when they have the workshops before the county commission meeting.
Right.
I like that. I like the fact that y'all have everything in one day. Is that open to the public? The workshop open to the public?
Any meeting we hold is open to the public.
Okay.
Any of
Okay.
it. We
Now-
can't have a closed meeting.
Okay. Now, at the workshop, is it any way during the workshop that you can inform the public about, like this bill that's coming up, that it did pass or it didn't pass,
Yes, sir.
and how it's going to affect everybody?
Yes, sir.
or at the workshop, y'all got y'all agenda, y'all gonna have to stick by that?
No, in the workshop, you can bring up anything in a workshop.
In the workshop.
You can't do it in the meet, regular
Right.
meet.
So what you're telling us that once you're in the workshop, if the general public has a concern, they can bring it up at the workshop?
They are asked if they want to address the commission to start with. If they want to address us, we listen to them.
Now, do they have to sign in and tell you what they want to talk
Well,
about?
it's best if they sign in, then you know who's coming, and you ain't gotta wonder who's gonna be here.
Well, do they have to tell you what they want to talk about?
Well, it's good to know that, where you'll be ready to answer all questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, I thought the sign-in procedure was when you got there. But you're saying you can do it ahead of time?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got copies out here with the guards and all.
Okay.
We got them in every courthouse.
Okay. So at the courthouse, you can go there and whoever security is, get a form from them that you want to address the council workshop.
Yes.
And I know y'all schedule is always in the paper of where you're going to be and when.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
So is the second Tuesday of each month?
Yeah, second Tuesday.
Unless something come up, y'all move it.
Unless this past month we did.
Yeah.
We moved it back a day on account of our engineer. Back a good while back had got a trip up to, he's in Mexico now.
Yeah.
On vacation. So he wasn't gonna be here.
Right.
He needed to be here for some business on the highways.
Right. And I want to thank you personally for allowing the Ministerial Association to come up there and open with prayer. Y'all always open with prayer.
We appreciate y'all
and,
too.
and I thank you. Now talking about the engineer, is there not going to be or have you already posted for an opening for the engineer? Where we stand with that?
We posted, we advertised for, he's right out of Auburn, so he ain't an engineer yet. He's training to be one. And Patrick is retiring at the end of this A-Trip program when we get through with all the bridges. So we're gonna need somebody, but then we'll advertise when he leaves for engineer.
But you got somebody working with Patrick now?
No, he ain't started yet.
Okay.
He's fixing to start. But
Okay.
we need a bridge inspector. And on these bridges that we're building, you gotta have one according to state law. We gotta furnish somebody. So this was a good way to get it done and wouldn't cost us any money.
Let me ask you this here. How far in advance before Mr. Patrick retire that y'all gonna actually get an engineer?
Well, I'd
You don't
say
know?
it would be a month or so before he retires. You gotta get him. You want to get him on. You want to advertise before he goes and leaves.
Now this gonna be a statewide advertisement,
No, just county.
just countywide advertisement.
You
No,
talking-
when you advertise for the.
Just state countywide. You ain't advertising for the state. You advertising for your county.
No. When you
You
get
talking
ready,
about to put it in?
yeah, when you get ready to get an engineer.
We'll put it in the local papers and probably the Dothan Eagle.
Is that right?
Yeah. They'll hear from it on, with the association, they'll hear that. They'll know where Eagle's got need, for an engineer.
Okay, all right.
But they may not, anybody bid on it. Who knows? Sign up for it.
And then what happened?
We'll have to redo it.
So you have to keep running until you get somebody.
Yeah.
It ain't like you can't not get nobody. All right, now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because I've had several occasions to talk to the sheriff. I've had several occasions to talk to. Matter of fact, I interviewed the sheriff not long ago, and I want to talk about number one. What is the responsibility from the county commission to the sheriff department? What is your responsibility?
Our responsibility, Reverend Green, is the buildings. The county owns the buildings. That's all we are. We're to keep them up and anything fixed that breaks down.
Okay. The building.
The buildings.
What about vehicles?
The vehicles. We're. That's why we got pistol permit money going dedicated to some vehicles. Now this bill we're trying to going to put on in, I guess, 2016. It's just passed the legislature and the Senate up there. Now we're getting a cent for the sheriff's department and a cent for the county employees to give them a raise. But we got no money right now, as we stand, to give any raises to our county employees, and they're, you know, they're not making too much.
Talking about a raise, the sheriff himself, Mr. Upshaw, said that, and I asked him about like maybe the 5 counties around us, so far as pay concerned. Our deputies here in Barber County are the lowest paid in this five county area. We're the lowest paid in this
Could be, I don't know, I've never checked it out. It could be.
But now you're telling us that in 16, there's gonna be a bill?
It'll be a bill on
Ballot.
Well, it could be on before then if it's a special call election and we decide to put it on before then. We could put it on in a special election.
Are you considering that?
Well, you consider everything, which should be the best for the county.
Now, I believe this now. I believe this. I believe that if the people can be assured that they would get a raise, I believe that would pass. But let's talk about this.
Let's talk about that.
All right, go ahead.
The 1 cent for the sheriff's department is dedicated for the cars, the upkeep, and the workers.
Okay.
The same way with the county, 1 cent meal, 1 meal.
Okay.
It's the same way for the county employees.
So
You can't spend it nowhere but there.
Okay, so we're gonna have a bill where you're asking 1 meal for the county and 1 meal for the sheriff's department. That's 2 meals.
That's right.
Is that what we're asking for?
Yes, sir. 1 for the sheriff's department and 1 for the county.
Strictly.
It's in the bill.
No road, no nothing.
If you read it in the paper when we was running it in the paper, it's dedicated for that, and you can't spend it no way but for that. They put, you know, they can get you for it if you spend it outside of where it's going. Same way with the part of the pistol permit money is dedicated for cars. You got to spend them for cars. So that gets you where you can.
Let me make a suggestion to you, if you don't mind. I think that y'all comfortably putting stuff in the paper and just letting that be sufficient. But Mr. Gilmore, trust me, nothing beats that you verbally informing the folks themselves. Don't nothing beat that.
Well, let me say this.
Okay.
Reverend Green, and you can go with us if you want to.
Okay.
On them 2 meals, we going around to the neighborhoods over this county. And the last time we did this, before we got around, some of them we didn't have a soul there. In this courthouse here, the biggest portion of the people lives here. We didn't have but about 6 or 8 people here in the meeting. Now that's all you can do is go out here in the communities and hold meetings, inform them what's if they don't come, how you gonna do it?
Right. Now I remember a meeting that we had for about the sheriff department, and the place was full.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get them vehicles and stuff. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about this. You said that the county is responsible for the building and the vehicles, but let's talk about the building. I understand. Now the sheriff said this. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the sheriff said. That there is no maintenance person for the jail, and his deputies do sometimes they have to do things. It's not feasible to me to believe that there's not a maintenance person. Now, because it seems like to me that maintenance person, you're also responsible for the courthouse, right?
Yes, both of them.
Okay, so you're responsible for both courthouses and the jail.
All the senior centers.
And all the senior centers.
Yes, sir.
So how do we do that?
All county buildings we are in.
So how do we do that without a maintenance person, Mr. Gilmore?
Huh?
How do we do that without a maintenance person?
Easy.
Okay.
When we had the last maintenance person, everything that was done was contracted with by another entity, a land that's in that business. Today, if the air conditioner goes out, we got 2 people. We got a third I can call if they get behind on the work and bring him in. But they fix the air conditioning now. If it's a building, I get somebody that's in the building trade to come in, get a couple of quotes, and bring them in to fix it. We're coming out a heap cheaper this way as well with a man sitting over somewhere else and he ain't even on the job 90% of the time, and he's costing you arm and a leg.
But now, let's talk a little bit about that.
Now, at the jail,
Uh-huh,
when I've been there,
uh-huh.
it ain't been but a couple of times I ever seen a deputy out there. Now, where he's doing any work, I don't know, but as much as going on out there at the jail, he ain't doing much. I can say that.
But look,
My experience.
yeah. Okay, let's talk. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
'Cause I really want to talk about. I really want to talk about your relationship with the sheriff and the jail. But let's talk about maintenance first. Let's talk about maintenance.
Ain't.
The purpose of a maintenance person is preventive maintenance. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you got somebody there every day, then the chance of something happen reduces 90% because I'm there every day checking and doing the small. See, normally you got to fix small stuff so it won't become big stuff. You follow what I'm saying? Let me give you an
I
example.
understand what you're saying.
Let me give you an example. I was talking to the jailer maybe yesterday, the day before, and maybe they won't mind me saying this. And if they do, well, put me in jail. No, please don't put me in jail. But look, they had the state inspector come in, and they had things like leaks, faucet leaking. One faucet wasn't even working, and they had maybe two of the commodes that didn't even flush. That don't even flush. You see what I'm saying? And that's the state inspector. Now overall, the jail passed, but stuff like that, a maintenance person on the scene never would have let that happen when you got a state inspector coming. I'm arguing for everyday
Let me say
maintenance
this.
person.
Let me
All
say
right?
this.
All right.
If you've been through what I've been through and maintenance people, you wouldn't ever want to see one. When you hire him,
Uh-huh.
who's over it? Who's out there every day over it?
Well, it all depends whether.
Nobody.
Well, if it's that day at the jail, then the jail administrator would be over. If
Okay.
it's that day at the courthouse, and whoever's over the courthouse, no.
The county commission's part-time. We're not a full-time commission, we part-time.
Okay.
You can't be here and be over there too. This last one we had, now this is the truth.
Okay.
He was supposed to be at the jail every morning. The jail was his priority.
Okay.
That went come first,
That make good sense.
the jail.
Make good
He's
sense.
supposed to go to the jail first to take
Okay.
care of that.
Okay.
When he left, everything out there was tore up. It cost us probably $70,000 to get it running again. Now you think you want that again?
But now tell me why that happened though. Something.
He didn't do his job.
Okay. Now Mr. Gilmore. There ain't nowhere in the world that we can hire somebody and they're not responsible. Somebody ain't responsible for them. Somebody got to be responsible for them. And
Well,
if the jail, it seems like to me if the jail is my top priority,
Well, let
and
me-
I'm the maintenance man,
let me say
the
this.
administrator of the jail should be
Let me say this.
okay.
I just got the lights on the back of the jail yard out there. All the lights on them poles is out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's out 3 or 4 months before I even knew this out.
Mhm.
If you ain't got somebody out there that's out there saying, that you need to get this fixed or that fixed,
Mm-hmm.
how you gonna know to fix it?
Mm-hmm. But if you got a maintenance man there, the maintenance man
If you got
going every day, or maintenance woman, whoever it is, they going every day, Mr. Gilmore, and they see a bulb out. Ain't no way in the world a bulb been stay out on 3 months because they're gonna put a bulb in there.
well, this one couldn't have been out there, so I don't know. You can't tell me, you can't tell me about the maintenance people.
I can't sell you on that.
No, sir. We're doing better now than we've done with him. The only time he ever came over here is when I had somebody hired to take that flooring up out there.
Uh-huh.
He come over here and I asked him what he's doing here. Well, I can just come over to see if they need it. I said, they don't need nothing, they are hired to do this. He stayed around here and looked a while and left. Well, I didn't call him over here he's supposed to be at the jail.
Well, see, that's a lack of supervision, though. And because
You gotta-
so
if
because
you-
there's no supervision, we ain't have no maintenance person. That what you're telling me? Because there's no
We
supervision.
got maintenance. We got maintenance people.
Okay.
For anything that goes wrong, we got a maintenance person we call in. What you can't be better than that.
All right.
You ain't paying him all that money to sit over there and not do nothing.
Okay. Well, then why did, now, and I'm hoping I'm saying this right. I'm hoping I'm saying that these issues that seem minor, but to me, a toilet not flushing ain't minor to me. Why when the state inspector came to the jail, we had these problems? We got leaking faucets, we got commodes that don't
Well,
flush.
you're gonna have leaking faucets. I don't care if you got 3 over there, probably. You're gonna have some faucets as big as we got over there.
And the toilet not flushing?
You're gonna have that at times, yeah. You'll have it.
But if you got a maintenance person that you want.
Well, you're gonna have to hire a maintenance person then if you're gonna get one. I ain't hired one yet that done what you talking about.
That's a lack of supervision. No?
Yeah, but we ain't got nobody over there.
Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Who's gonna supervise it if it ain't nobody?
I don't know that. Somebody. Who? The jail administrator. The jail administrator would supervise the maintenance person if they're at the jail. Is that correct?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
All right. Let's talk about the budget.
Okay.
Let's talk about the budget. Let's talk about the budget. Now you're telling us that we're gonna try to get one meal. Now the sheriff has not seen the budget, the proposed budget. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was in on the budget.
He was in on the budget.
He's getting, the sheriff's department and the jail gets over 50% of the budget. I mean, the money coming to this county goes there. Over 50%. And we got the rest of the county to run too.
Okay, so now, the 1 meal you're asking for, let's just talk about the sheriff's department. We ain't talking about for the county employee.
Right.
You sit down with the sheriff, and y'all realize that a 1% meal would be sufficient. Is that am I right to say that?
No. We told the sheriff what we was gonna do and put it on for that. Well, you know, if he didn't want that, we wouldn't have done it. But I mean,
who
wouldn't want to give the employees a raise?
But what about this though? I'm not. Oh yeah, see, that's what he want to do. But what I'm saying is this. If we're gonna do a budget that's gonna affect my department, okay, I should be able to sit there and say, well, no, I need a meal and a half, or I need 2 meals.
Well, you can go where you ain't gonna get none. You can't just keep putting on what somebody else wants.
I understand that. I understand, but I ought to be able to have. What I'm saying, I ought to have some input into my budget.
He does. We meet with everybody in this county, the probate judge, the revenue commission. At budget time, all of them, the sheriff, all of them's in on their budget.
And the
they
sheriff
ain't in on somebody else's budget, but that's nothing too.
That don't have to be. So what you're saying, what you're saying to me right now, to the listening audience of Gumbo Live, is that 1 meal would be sufficient to bring up the sheriff department deputies raise enough where they can compete with the surrounding counties. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know that. I really don't know that. I don't know what they make now. You know what I mean?
You don't know what they make?
I see it, but
I mean, you're the chair.
Well, I see it every month, but I can't tell you. I don't look at it that close to know you make this and you make that. There's a lot of them to keep up with like that.
But you know how much the sheriff make?
52.5, I believe. 50.
Well, so what about the sheriffs around? What about the 5 counties around? Our sheriff's salary compared to their salary. You have an idea?
Well, we got it in Clayton, but I can't remember.
So now, are you basing? That's a good question. Are you basing the 1 meal? Are you basing that on what you basing that on? Are you basing it on the surrounding counties, or are you saying this is what the best we can do?
We're basing it on what we can do.
What we can do.
What we make and get.
Yeah, you saying that the only thing we probably can get from the general public is the 1 meal.
If you want to go up there and put on 4 or 5 meals, you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah.
You trying to help these people get a raise. That's what we try to do. They ain't had a raise in a long time, and these workers we got is the one that needs help.
Now look, let me ask you this here. When you're talking about a raise, you're talking about 2 things, I believe. I believe number 1, you're talking about the relationship that, let's say the sheriff, for instance, that the relationship the sheriff has with the community. All right, and then the next thing you're doing, you say I'm gonna trust the community. why don't you trust the community for a two meal raise for the sheriff department? You believe? I mean, you got to trust the folks, and I believe this here. Most elections,
past experience.
okay, all right.
You got to look at past experience.
I can't argue with that. But most elections, would you not say it's based on popularity? When the last time somebody run against you?
Last 2 times.
You had upon last 2 times you ran for county commission?
I had nobody running against me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the times before, it was 7, 8 piled on.
Yeah, but you won.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? And part of the winning is popularity, and part of it is the job you're doing. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, so what, more so the job you do in the popularity?
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think.
No, I think it's the job.
Let's say for instance the sheriff. Let's say for instance the sheriff. I believe that Mr. Upshaw keep getting elected based on popularity because most of folks don't know. I don't know what the sheriff's supposed to do and what the sheriff do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all that to say that it comes to a point where we got to trust the voters. We got to say that because Mr. Upshaw asked for it, the voters will get it to him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And we can be assured. You can be assured that we're going to compete against the 5 county. Just like I talked to the chief of the fire department. You know, they put the people through the training. Matter of fact, our department is so good, folks come here to train. And as soon as they get trained, they're gone. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So, but I think we need to trust the folks. I think we need to trust the folks.
Well, we trust them. Well, that's why we're putting it on. We trusted them to
1 meal. 1
meal for each thing, and that's where it'll go. It's dedicated to them. Okay. We can't go nowhere else but.
But would you do this? Where you can inform us? Because I always tell people that Gumbo Live is going to be informative and it's going to be fun. It may not always be fun, but I want it to always be informative.
Right.
Would you do this between now and the time that we got to vote? Would you tell us that if they get that 1 meal, if we pass the 1 meal, which I'm sure we will, where would that rank the deputies? Now the sheriff can get a raise too out of that one meal? Just the deputies?
Just the deputies, and all of his people works for him.
Okay, everybody get a raise but the sheriff?
Yeah, the sheriff is...
And we get vehicles?
Just like our salary. We ain't nowhere, the county commission is nowhere close to the state minimums a commissioner made.
So the state is responsible for the sheriff's salary. Y'all not responsible for the sheriff's salary?
No, we are. We are.
Y'all are?
Yes.
Okay, so explain why he won't get a raise out of that 1 meal.
It's a different setup. He's elected official.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay. All right.
He ain't a county worker. He's the sheriff.
Okay.
Just like the revenue commissioner, just like the probate judge.
Okay. All right. So then, would you do this? I'm gonna go back to my original question. And again, I want to thank you for this, man. I really want to thank you. This information is very important. Between now and the time that we vote on that 1 meal, would you tell us where that would place our deputies in other, so far as how would they rank with the 5 counties around us so far as salary is concerned?
Well, here's the thing. You can't rank the 5 counties joining us. You take Houston, you take Dale County, Pike County. It's no comparison in what they take in for their budget than what we take in. Well, that don't compare. You got to compare with the same amount of people in the county. We got 26,000 and something.
I thought we had more than that.
We did. To the last census, it came down.
All right, so that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The only way to do it.
Okay, that's fair. So would you do that then? Would you?
But I don't believe. I just don't believe Henry County. I know that Henry County's paying a little more, but they don't have 2 courthouses like we got to keep up either. Have you thought of that?
No.
Have you thought?
I don't know. See, that's why
they ain't got 2 or 3 weeks of keeping up 2 senior centers.
No, that's why it's important for you to tell us stuff like that. I consider myself fairly intelligent. You understand what I'm saying? But when I talk about raise, I just talk about raise. I didn't realize that we got to take care of 2 courthouses and 2 senior citizen places. That's why it's important that folks in the position talk to us. You understand what I'm saying? Like just like roads. I get locked in on getting my road fixed, you know, and never take in consideration the other responsibility you have until y'all tell us. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, but a lot of people won't come to listen.
Yeah.
Now, how you gonna get them people word? They ain't coming. They said we elected you to do it. That's what they say.
Yeah, well.
Now, I run up on a preacher that was here a couple of months ago, under the application form, in Dothan yesterday. And he said he's gonna come back. He said he enjoyed the meeting. He learned a lot that he did not know.
Sure.
Well, if everybody did that, then they'd know more of what we going through.
I agree with that.
We ain't out to get nobody, as I know of.
Okay. Then
But we're out here to help them.
okay, make it, and I agree with you now. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
And if somebody calls me, I don't care what district they go, I'm gonna call them back and see about it.
Yeah. Normally, folks don't respond until there's something
Big comes up.
Yeah,
my baby.
but I agree with you. But now, this is what I also say. Make it as easy as possible for folks to come talk to you. Make it as easy as possible. Some things that's going on in the city, I don't like, but I think the process, you got to have a process. So I give into that. You got to have a process. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And folks don't come, that's fine. But I think that, and that's one of the things I'm going to do with Gumbo Live. I'm not trying to raise no problem, cause no problem. I want to inform the folks. Because a lot of things we just don't know. And this is what I tell everybody all the time, Mr. Gilmore. Street talk could kill you if you don't address it. That's one reason why anytime something going on, I call the sheriff and I say, Mr. Sheriff, let's discuss it. He'll come on. He'll come on and discuss it because we're not gonna let the street talk kill us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're gonna put some facts out there, and if it's something legitimate, if I got a legitimate complaint, then I need to listen. If I got a legitimate complaint, they got some folk who are gonna just complain to be complaining.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
But if I got a legitimate complaint, I ought to be listening. So let's go back to something you said, and because I want my audience to hear this. You said that when we read in the paper that the county commission going to have a work session on so and so Tuesday, that we can come. It started at 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever time it started.
4:30.
4:30. That we can come and address whatever problems we have, regardless to what you got on your agenda. We can come up there and talk about it. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
All right. We may not get an answer that day. We may have to wait till the next meeting to get an answer, but we can come up there and address it.
Well, if you do it this way,
Okay.
these sheets we got here in the courthouse
Mhm.
that you fill out
Okay.
ahead of time,
Okay.
then we'll know what you're gonna ask and we can have the answer.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
But if we don't know what you're gonna ask, how you gonna get, you mean something I might
Right.
not know, Rayanne might not know.
Right.
She'd have to look.
Okay.
She's giving you, when she ain't looking at it, she's just giving you opinion of what she thinks it is.
Okay. So this is what you're saying to us. To make it fair to everybody. The only purpose that we got for this forum is that you can prepare yourself to answer our questions.
That's right.
Not to censor us, not to say no, we ain't gonna let them talk and nothing like that.
Anybody turns in one gonna talk.
All right.
And some of these that don't turn in one, I mean, I ain't gonna turn them down.
All
If
right.
they wanna say something, and
Okay.
they ain't fill out the sheet, you know.
Okay.
But it's best to do that way where we know what the answer, we can get the answer for you and have it ready.
Okay, that's good. And
That's the way
that's only
that-
fair. That's fair. That's fair. Can't
giving
argue
us-
that point.
That's giving us a fair shot.
But everybody can come. Any citizen of Barber County can come and address.
Any citizen anywhere can come.
Okay.
This is open to the public.
Okay.
If it ain't, this won't hold them, we'll go upstairs.
And if y'all got you see when you have a workshop, you have it for a particular reason, but it does not make any difference. If I come in and I want to talk about loose dogs running around, y'all will give me.
That's right.
All right.
But
Okay.
the best thing is to come to the work session for that. That's where you're gonna get more answer
Right.
than in the regular.
Well, I'm talking about the work session. I ain't talking about the work. What I'm talking about now It's the work session, that's what
But
I'm
if
talking
you
about.
notice, when we go from the work session to the regular session, I still ask, is anybody
Right, right.
address the
You
commission?
sure do, that's true. That's
So
true.
that ain't turning them people down.
Okay. Now let's talk about this. And again, I appreciate your time, and I recognize the fact that you're busy. So I just want you to give me a few more minutes,
Oh, you
and I
got
really
it.
appreciate it. Let's talk about when there's openings in the county.
Yes,
When
sir.
there's openings in the county. Now there are regulations. There are laws that says that everything that's open has to be open to everybody.
Right,
Is that right?
that's right.
And so everybody, every minority, females, everybody should be get consideration for these jobs. Is that correct?
Well, let me say to a point you're right
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
But if you're advertising for a certain type job,
Mhm.
and you got the qualifications in that advertisement,
Mhm.
and we do, we
Mhm.
put them in there,
Mm-hmm.
all right?
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got no experience in that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what's the use of you going out there signing up?
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
It ain't no use for we gonna,
Yeah.
they gonna, who's gonna do the interview,
Right,
and it's gonna
right,
eliminate them
sure.
before they get there.
That's good sense. That's good sense. So
Now.
but now,
So I'm
all
saying-
you look at is qualifications. That's what you're saying.
That's why we hire them.
Okay. Okay.
When you hire on qualifications, you can't give it to somebody that got none,
Well,
and you're the
sure,
one that's,
sure.
dude, you in trouble.
Sure, I
They'll
agree.
have you in federal court that quick.
I got you. Okay. Now, what about this? Are there any appointed committees? Or are there?
We can't have committees, no more.
Okay.
No, sir. It ain't no appointed committees.
All right. Now, okay. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an
Okay,
example.
go
Let
ahead.
me give you an example. The city appoints people from the community for library, for this or that. Y'all don't have that. You don't have nothing that
We got-
that you as commissioners can appoint people to.
Yes, sir. We
All
got the mental health board,
Mhm.
inspector care.
Mm-hmm.
We got Sarco board.
Mhm.
We got
911.
911. We got what's the other one? The Southeast Regional Planning.
Uh-huh.
But on the Southeast Regional Planning, you know, you got some that's got certain things they gotta have.
Right. Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. When you're getting ready to appoint for these different boards, let's say, give me one besides that Southeast region, because that's a harder one.
Sarco board,
What
the
part?
senior board.
Senior board. All right. Does every commissioner get a chance to appoint somebody, or if it falls in your?
We got some that it does.
Okay.
Some of them does.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think the Sarco board is each commissioner. We got. May not be that. It may be.
Well, let's just give that example.
Yeah.
Let's say that. So that there are
Some of them
that
is does that.
where each commissioner
It's got
appoints a
an
person.
appointment.
Okay. Now, let's talk just strictly on appointment. Strictly, if you're going to appoint somebody
Mhm.
to a board, you're going to appoint somebody. What you base that on?
Well, I used to base it on what they've done in life out here working, you know. You know what they've done, where they came from, you know, and what you're looking for on the board. We're looking for somebody to be at the board meeting. When you tell them it ain't gonna pay you nothing, that winds them up. It's hard to get a board appoint, somebody to go on a board now, because most of them don't pay you. You know what I mean?
Now, let me tell you what I think is hard. Let me tell you what I think is hard. I think that somebody who's very vocal in the community, who's very, who's coming to y'all and talking to y'all and asking y'all questions and doing it, I think it's harder for that person to get on the board than would be somebody else.
No, I've asked, I think I forget what the last appointment was. I like to never found somebody to take it. On the county, it didn't pay nothing. I mean, it's, you're doing it for community service.
Yeah, but and most people that serve on these boards realize that it's not for pay, that it is for community service. It's a little status. But but what I was concerned about is that each commissioner has an equal voice in appointing folks.
Right. Most of them they do.
Okay.
But at some boards, we ain't got the 3 appointments, so you swap it around. or we try to.
If three commissioners do it this time, next time,
Yeah,
the other three commissioners
switch it
do
around, you know.
So every this what I'm really getting at, Mr. Gilmore, that every board that's appointed that should represent the community. It should look like the community that we serve. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, it does. See, the other end of the county is represented the same as this end of the county.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got more on this end than we got from the other end.
And so racial and sex and gender, all that is representative of the community?
If you can find somebody, they'll take it. We don't discriminate if we can help it. I don't know nobody discriminate against somebody on the board or anything.
And now let's talk about this.
Now, on the hiring of the people you work, it's strictly by your qualifications of what are you advertising for. And if you ain't in them, you ain't gonna get looked at.
Sure, that's any job. That's any job, though. That's any job.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's, some people don't understand that though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, some is out there that don't.
Really?
They think if they ain't never had a job at all, they supposed to be looked at.
No. Well, we're informing them now that that's qualifications for a reason. That's qualifications for a reason. And since we talk about that, qualification is not to leave anybody out, but it's just to make sure you got the person that can do the job that you're looking for.
That's right.
That's why you have qualifications.
That's right. If you don't have them, you might as well just put it out there with nothing.
Yeah. All right, now let's go back to this. Go back to this. I want to know, and you've always been honest to me when we talk. I mean, we've always talked.
I'm gonna try to be honest.
What is the relationship between the county commission and the sheriff department? On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest relationship you can have.
Well, I've never had very little trouble out there with the sheriff's department. So I've called them up every time I get something and talk with them on it, So I'd say a 10. I don't see nothing.
So y'all got a great working relationship.
Well,
that's what a 10 means.
Well, let me say this.
Okay.
If they got a problem out there and they call me, I'll handle it.
Okay.
Quick as we can. Now,
Okay.
sometimes you got air conditioner out, you can't put it in overnight. You got to get it in and get everything to go back.
Okay.
But yeah, we do it fast as we get it back online.
So I can't.
It's the number one priority in this county. Is that jail?
Okay. So I can't say you don't get no maintenance person. I can't say.
Sir. Man, if you want to come look at him, I'll take it.
Y'all gonna get a salary for that?
No. You see, I want you to see how it works.
Yeah, but I tell you, okay, but not so I can't say you on that. But can I say you on this?
Okay.
You're gonna work this as hard as I'm gonna work to make sure they get a raise.
We working on it. We work all the time trying to get them a raise.
Yeah.
If you ain't got the money, you can't raise nobody.
Cause see, we got.
Salary don't come off.
Yeah.
And if you ain't got a way to keep it paid next year, what you gonna do?
See, but both of our law enforcement agencies, from what I've been told and from what I've seen, the city police department and the county sheriff department, both of our law enforcement agencies are making barely enough to live, and some of them not even making enough to live, salary wise. And I think that job is just too important. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to address the city about giving our city officers a raise. You know what I'm saying? And because I believe in stuff like that. I believe if you are protecting and serving, I know that's what the city says, and I think the county ought to say the same thing. They're there to protect and serve. And I think we ought to make sure that they got the vehicles they need, they got the equipment they need, and they got the salary that they need. I ought not be making more than damn deputy out there.
Well, let me say this, Reverend Trent.
Okay.
When I came on, Sheriff Smith was the sheriff. You remember him?
What year?
He was here 20-something years. He took, my brother was sheriff 8 years.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
And Robert took over. He was my brother's chief deputy. So he took over behind him. He didn't have a car that would carry a prisoner except the one he was driving to Atmore, Alabama without breaking down. And he walked right in this courthouse here. I came in.
The sheriff did.
7 o'clock in the morning, I was here, and he came in and he called me back again. He told me his problems, you know. And I felt sorry for him. I really did. I knew what he had, his junk. So I talked with him, and I said, well, Sheriff, how much money you got that you could put in? And he told me. So Mr. Marshall Williams was chairman. So I called, I got what he could do. I called the sheriff, Mr. Marshall up at his house, and asked him if he could meet us in the courthouse in Clayton.
Let me ask you, how is Betty doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Okay, all right, good. We prayed for her.
Yeah.
Marshall, we prayed for your request.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
everybody's praying for her.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But he met us over there, and I explained to him. And I said, we gotta do something. I said, this is awful. I told him, you've been sheriff, you wouldn't like to be put in this situation.
Right,
No
right.
car. And I said, every one of them's got 400,000 miles. So we sat down and figured out. And the next morning, we set up to go up to Montgomery to the surplus yard. They got the federal and the state surplus yard together. And just lo and behold, we found 2 cars from the federal side, low mileage. It was nice police cars. And we bought them both for him. Now you talking about a happy sheriff, he was happy.
Let me ask you this.
So, I mean, these cars they got now, I mean, some of them you had got 100, 200,000. I don't know. That's what they say. I hadn't seen them.
Let me ask you this here, because I remember. Was it last year when they had the meeting up there about the sheriff cars and all that stuff?
Upstairs.
Yeah. But anyway, this is my question.
The year before last, I believe.
What how much donation towards stuff can private citizens do? Because I remember we had a meeting after that meeting, private citizens, where we said, we'd sponsor tires and even go for a sponsor a car. Can we do that?
Yes, sir. You can buy a whole fleet if you got the money.
So private citizens can.
I don't know no laws against it, Reverend Ray.
We was told we couldn't do it.
Huh? We was told you.
I thought you told me, but maybe not.
No. If you want to donate, you can donate to anybody, I think.
Okay. All right.
I'll check it out with
Yeah.
our attorney, but I think if you want it, you get the money, we'll take it.
It was something. And I don't want to say something that you said that you didn't say.
No, I ain't said that.
But it was something about, cause we they talked at the meeting. They talked about not having no tires and how bad shape the cars was in and all that kind of
You
stuff.
can go out here and hurt and just tell them to pull it up and see how many tires we bought out there. And where they going, I mean.
So as a result of that meeting, y'all took care. I tell you what, and God knows I remember who told me. They said that there was $75,000 set aside for those cars. No.
What comes in from the pistol permit money is set aside for.
I suggest
Now, if we get this one meal for the sheriff, what's left over as the raises is given will be used that way. But
I suggested this, and tell me if you will support this. Tell me if you support this. I said, and I talked to the sheriff about it. Because of the pistol permits ain't but $20. And then because it goes so far, I was saying, when we sit up one Saturday, sit up somewhere, here or somewhere, and all it is a pistol permit day. And we encourage everybody, and even people that already got the permit, bring us $20. What's $20?
Well, you'd have to
Could we do that?
You'd have to do it in Clayton.
Have to do it in Clayton?
That's where the machine is. It makes the pistol permits. You got a plastic card with your picture on it.
So we'd have to do it in Clayton?
That's in Clayton, not here. So you'd have to do it there where they could make the card.
So it's not a portable machine that can be moved?
Well, it might be. I don't know. It could do that. you might could do that.
Cause see, what I wanna do that.
See, it ain't office in this courthouse here with the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got all of this equipment there, and I don't know what all involved.
Look into that for me.
All right.
Cause what I wanna do it in both places, because I found out that a lot of folks in Eufaula won't go to Clayton. They'll stand in line, long lines, with, you know, where they could go to Clayton. There ain't no line, but they just won't go to Clayton.
Well,
So I would like to do it in both places, and just have a pistol registration day. That's what we could call it.
well, a lot of them.
It's a fundraiser.
Yeah, a lot of them in line ain't got to stand in line to start with. If
Yeah.
you want to call in and
Call it, yeah,
send
sure.
a check.
Sure.
They
Yeah,
will.
that's just an
They just
example.
like to come.
Yeah, that's just an example.
Yeah.
You know, so that we want to do something like that in both places. Is that feasible?
I'll find out if they can move it.
Yeah. And then you get behind something like the supporting that.
I'll support that. Yes, sir. Anything to help the sheriff's department.
All right. Okay. Now I like to say that again.
Anything that'll help the sheriff's department.
All right. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the chairman. Yeah, we're willing to do whatever it's going to take to help the sheriff department.
Well, we try.
Except getting my maintenance man. We ain't gonna do that.
I'm gonna get one of his deputies there over there doing something.
Oh, well, all right. So, Mr. Gilmore, I always do this. I always do that before I end the interview. I want to thank y'all for watching. I want to thank you one more time, man. I really appreciate this.
Well,
We're gonna do it again.
I enjoy it.
But now, I always give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say. I'm not asking no more questions. I'm not gonna say anything that might have been something that for the audience.
Well, I just want to let the audience know that we're doing all we can do to spend their money wisely, get these people a raise, get the sheriff's department a raise. And that's all you can do is work toward that, and we do it. So if they need me, they know most of them got my number. If they ain't, I can give them a card with it on there.
Okay, all right.
I'll call them if they call me.
Okay. Now, let's do this here before we go. If you're the chairman, you're the chairman, but you still represent a district.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if somebody call you from another district, because you're the chairperson, you take that to whatever district they call from. How do you handle something like that?
Okay. First thing I ask them if they call their commissioner. Well, you know, you get different things when you say they can't get a hold of you. If they say that, I try to help them with that problem then, but I ask them to call their commissioner first. Inform him, I don't want to go in this district and do something.
Oh, her district.
Yeah, her district, or whoever's district.
Yeah.
Miss Francis got the best district you could run for.
Yeah.
Got no roads, no nothing.
No nothing. Yeah.
It's all in the city.
Yeah, that's good. But now, so what happened? What happened if I call you? If I call you, and I'm simply not happy with the response that I've got from my commissioner. What kind of leeway do you have?
I come see about you. I go all over this county. I mean, if somebody calls me, they need help, and I'm there to help them. We're servants of the people.
That don't cause confusion with whoever's over that district.
Not if you do the job for them, they won't.
All right.
With you?
No, I understand.
I really tell them, if you ask them if they've called their commissioner. And if they say they've called them and can't get a hold of them, then that, you know, I don't think a commissioner would say nothing if you got something done for their people.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, I don't know. Some people touch you about that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why I don't try to get in it.
Yeah. Some people are real.
But if somebody
touchy.
somebody ain't been able to get a hold of their commissioner, they got a problem, they need help. Right then, most of the time. They don't need them tomorrow down the road, they need it fixed quick as they get it.
You know, I'm gonna say this. I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Lake Charles, and we had a mayor that would actually tell the people, "I'm trying to get this done," but this city council person fighting everything we doing. Let them know that that either you're a supporter or you're a hindrance. Would you ever consider something like that?
Well, we've never had that. Never.
Would you consider that if one of the county commission persons is not cooperating with the rest of the county commissioners to get things done for the county, would you consider making that known to the people?
Oh, yeah, I would. He don't need to be there. If he's a hindrance, he don't need to be on this.
He or she?
He or she or whoever. If it's me,
Yeah.
I don't need to be here.
And you would consider making that publicly known?
I would.
That when the council is looking out for the good of the
County?
county?
Yes, sir.
Well, what about our state representative and our state senator? Would you do the same?
No, I wouldn't get in that. Because he's up there and I ain't up there with him. I don't know the situation.
Yeah, but you know if anything's coming from there to help the county, or you also know, just like these bills, we got a senator and a representative that have to vote on these bills.
Everything we do, they
They got to vote on it.
Yeah, we
Right.
go through that.
So if they voting on
Well,
something that's
never-
hurting the county all the time,
But we've always got good
I
support.
understand that, but that's not my question. I'm not asking you what kind of job they're doing now. I'm asking you if they were hurting the county, would you consider making that known to the voters?
Oh, yeah, I think anybody that's hurt the county needs to be made known to the county. I mean, to the Barber County.
Okay.
Anybody in any office,
All right.
not just this office, all offices.
Before we go, I want you to do two things. I want you to tell me the highlights of your job and then the low points of it. What you enjoy most about your job.
Meet the people and trying to help them.
All right.
Right, main thing.
All right, now what's the part that you
The
said?
low point
Yeah,
is when you got no money, they want everything, and you ain't got
Got
no
no
money
money.
to do nothing with.
All right, all right.
And if you got money to do things, you can do things.
Mm-hmm.
But when you broke and you got money that's spent, that's in these budgets that's already spent, you know where it's going. How you gonna do anything better?
All right.
So that's, when I first come on 27 years ago, we had a little money, and it's a heap easier to run this job
With money.
with money than it is without money.
That's everything else.
And everything else, your home is harder to run without money.
Well, I tell you
So
what.
I've enjoyed working for the people.
Okay.
I really have, and I've tried to do it.
Yeah. I have.
And I hope
enjoyed-
nobody out there, it may be one or two that's.
Well, you always
You
get
know.
that. Yeah. But I have enjoyed this interview. I have enjoyed this interview. This one of my highlights of Gumbo Live. Right? And I want to say for the
Well,
record.
I hope I've told you the truth.
Well, I want to say for clarity. I want to say for clarity for the record that we just about talk every day.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I would tell folks, you're my friend.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I want to say that for
Well, I just hate-
clarity for the record.
I just hate to spend several weeks trying to get.
Yeah, sure. You've been busy, I've been busy, but it happens, and I would like for us to do this on maybe a quarterly basis, just to give an update
Right.
of what's going on in the county.
Yeah.
Because I believe this, and I said it to the mayor, and I said it to the city council, that the biggest thing that we got for ourselves is communication.
Right.
Just tell the folks, because a lot of things we think we know that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
I didn't. I heard you say today, and before when I walked in this morning, I didn't think that you supported the sheriff department.
No, sir.
But as I,
I've
but
done
I
everything
heard you say it. I heard you say it from your own mouth. So I'm leaving here now. Thinking, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show you the importance of communication. And every elected official out there, regardless of what you think about me, communication is the best thing in the world.
Mhm.
Best thing in the world. Because I'm leaving here now knowing that you're going to do everything you can to support the sheriff department. You think much about it as I do.
Mhm. Well, you gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're going to do it again.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Just
Let
let
me talk to Mr. Earl Gilmore. You've been watching Gumbo Live right here at the Eufaula Courthouse, I must say to that. And I want to thank you for this too.
You're welcome.
You're watching Gumbo Live with L.C. Green and the chairman of the Barber County Commission, Mr. Earl Gilmore. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The next time you need a haircut, think of the barber shop with a grand tradition. Williams Barber Shop. Williams Barber Shop. proud to serve the entire community of Eufaula. Come by to our new location, new facilities, and see what it's like to be treated in style at Williams Barbershop in the old J.C. catalog store. There is another choice for making funeral arrangements. Central Funeral Services, located in Eufaula and Louisville, Alabama, with one-of-a-kind staff, thrives on professionalism and meeting the unique needs of families with a wide variety of services. Owned and operated by the Mixon family. Call 687-1060 or 266-5261. Melissa Mixon Smith, licensed funeral director.